Hi everyone. So now what we're going to do is use our postal code field to show on a map where these vehicles are owned. So if you see in our data set, we have a postal code, and these will mostly be in Washington, as I said. So we're going to also add a filter to only show Washington state. So let's just add a new sheet and we'll just rename it map. And to add in, so you can see postal code has automatically been defined as being geographic. It's zip code or postal code. And if we double click this, now for me, it's showing up in New Zealand. Because these are numbers, they may have a postal code in New Zealand as well, and that's where I'm located. But what we can do is we can create a field that states that it's the United States that we want to display. So in double quotation marks, we just enter United States and then close our quotation marks. And we're just going to name this field country. And this is again similar to a measure in Power BI where we're creating a field. And this is just going to be, well, it's going to automatically be defined as a string, but we're going to want to change this to be a geographical role, and it'll be country region. And if we drag this field now into detail, you'll see that they disappear. And now it is recognizing the postal codes as being in the United States. Now we can't just drag up and view it here. You'll notice that we're pinned. So let's just reset the map. You can untick this pin and it'll bring us to United States. And you can see most of them are in Washington. But what I want to do is also, I'll just change this to pan, and then we can just hover between rather than highlight our postcodes. But what we want to do is count our vehicle IDs. So if we drag this into size, so let's right click drag into size, and then we can click count D. Okay, it's going to change the size of these circles depending on how many vehicles are owned in that region. And I only want to show Washington, and at the moment you can see very small circles around the US, but this is mostly a Washington DC postal codes. So to do that, we can bring state into filters. We'll just drag it in, and we only want to show WA. So let's just tick this, apply, and then it's going to remove every other state that was being displayed. Now it can be quite hard to see these circles unless you zoom right in, but we can add borders to them if we just click color, and let's just, for opacity, you can make it smaller, the percentage, and then they'll be a bit more opaque and see-through. And also I want to add a border, so we could add a black border, for example, and then you can see the circles more clearly now. And then we can also format our map similar to Power BI again at the top here, and you could make it dark theme, for example, or yeah, you have a few options, satellite, but the one I'm going to go with is just normal, and then it just changes the color of the ocean a little bit, but I think it looks good. And then yeah, we'll leave it like this for now. I might just hide our legend as well, so at the top right here we can just hide the card, and we may format it a little later whenever we're putting it all together. So now we have two visualizations, and we'll start working on our third one in the next video. Okay, so I'll see you there.